Hello, everyone. Let me make this clear. Those are not large-scale photographs. Those are paintings. Classical oil-on-canvas paintings. And as far as technique goes, they are not different than any 17th century painting you can find in the museums. In my work, I study human nature. I'm interested in those hidden forces of life that motivate our decisions, determine our actions, and ultimately define who we are. I'm not interested in the external aspects or temporary appearances. All I care about is the self within. For the self is supreme, whole, and absolute. Everything comes and goes. Everything changes. Art, however, gives us that sense of permanence in contrast to everything that is impermanent. In art, there are four fundamental principles that thread from antiquity to present day. Those principles are inevitable. They have never changed. They never will. They apply to every style, every medium, but most importantly, they apply to real life. They are universal. By revealing them to you today, I will show you the secret of how art and life actually blend, because art is a way of living, and living is a form of art. Number one, the principle of universal interconnection. Everything is connected to everything else. The human face is the perfect example of this interconnectivity. Every element in the painting plays a certain role. Nothing is secondary. It all matters. The tiniest change in the corner of the mouth influences the expression of the eyes. If I lift the eyebrow a couple of millimeters, I'm already telling a different story. Think about your environment. Family, workplace, community. Every person plays a certain role and influences the others. It takes one annoying individual to spoil the harmony. It is not only a distraction. It sucks the energy and prevents everybody from focusing on their job. On the contrary, a kind and positive person can change the atmosphere and make everybody's life easier. So, pay attention to the details. Be aware how they affect the whole. This can be difficult in real life because those who get the big picture often miss the details and the other way around. The trick is constantly to observe and be aware of the connections. Number two, the mirror principle. We all live in a world of reflections. What does that mean? Like a mirror, my paintings reflect my state of mind. As much as they portray various individuals, they are a testimony, visual documents of my emotions and thoughts. In other words, whatever I put in them is there to stay. Every portrait I do is to a large extent a self-portrait. Same in real life. What you give is what you get. The energy you put out there will return to you, will ultimately define you. The way you treat others, they'll treat you. Nothing new, right? The important thing is to be aware of the reflecting impact of your words and actions. Because if the canvas is my mirror and that mirror never lies the same way, your environment is your mirror. So think about what's reflecting. Please remember, you paint your self-portrait on the canvas of society. And if you're not impressed with the image, don't blame the others. Just take a look in the mirror. Number three, principle of gradation. Everything is relative. Everything is bigger or smaller, darker or brighter, better or worse when you compare it to something else. If you study the light that hits the face of Morgan Freeman, you will see that it is most intense at the forehead and gradually less so in the other parts. This is gradation. Take the eyes. I choose to increase or decrease the intensity of their expression as if my brush is a remote control. This is gradation. In reality, it's all about seeing things in shades and values. If you think about it, life is a constant game of comparison and evaluation. Life is never two-dimensional. Life has shape, and gradation defines that shape. Glorious and not that glorious, bad and not that bad, rational and not quite rational. Life has millions of nuances. just like a painting. Train your senses to recognize the shades of the day. Separating the important from the less important is a good beginning. Number 4, principle of multiple meanings. Things are always way much more than they appear. Human face is a very complex image. It conveys various messages. It tells so many stories at the same time. Mandela. He is a hero of biblical proportions, a man of strong convictions, incredible inner strength and wisdom. However, I can see the sadness in his eyes. I can see his disappointment. In other words, his face can be interpreted in various ways. Victorious, tragic, calming, provocative, inspiring, all at once. It is easy to see Jackie as an iconic beauty, but if you pay close attention, you will detect some uncertainty, even fear in her eyes. She's both glamorous and insecure. Morgan Freeman is approachable and yet distant, real and mystical all at once. Everything in life can be seen the exact same way. The big picture consists of various interpretations. You must never forget that your point of view is just one of many. You should be able to see every situation from other people's perspective. In that sense, your eyes might not be the best source of information. They will need the support of your kind intentions. And I'll get this. Kindness is the all-seeing eye of the soul. Simple truth is, no matter who we are, we inevitably paint our self-portrait on the canvas of society. Now, you may say, oh, this sounds kind of complicated. How many times a day you can stop and think about principles, interpretations, gradation, evaluations? How can you possibly apply principle number 1 and principle number 3 at the same time? Well, as an artist, I do this all the time. I don't even think about it. It took me only 40 years to come to this point. Yes, I can understand that for some of us, life can be like a labyrinth with no clear references. So here's the silver thread. There is one simple answer to all questions that applies to pretty much every situation in life. Grace is the answer. At the end of the day, grace is the answer to everything we think, we say, we do. Not love. Love is wonderful, but love can be vulnerable, vengeful, even aggressive. Grace is the light that comes directly from the self within. You can't go wrong with that. Just be graceful to others, and most importantly, be graceful to yourself. Thank you very much. Thank you.